welcome back to my channel. In this video today I did a creepy half face pumpkin look. Every single product I used today was from NYX Cosmetics. If you didn't know, I was in the top 6 of the Face Awards, so I have a lot of their products and I thought I may as well put them to good use and do some sort of a drugstore video that's really affordable for Halloween time. You don't need to buy any special effects stuff. Everything on my face is regular makeup and I tried to be as innovative as possible. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's not sponsored by any means. I did want to contribute to the 30 days of Halloween that they're doing all throughout their social media, so like the Instagram and YouTube and things like that. You can be still really glam and really pretty on one side and then super creepy and scary on the other. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you want to see how to do it, then please keep on watching. To start out this video today, I already have my wig on. This is a purple lace front wig from Uniwigs, and I do have a discount code I'll leave on the screen, and any further information like their website, social media and the style of this wig in particular will be listed in the description box below. Now for this video today, I'm starting with my base. I'm applying a pore filler in the areas where I need it most to smooth out my complexion, and then I'm going straight in with the Total Cover Control drops. I'm in the shade 07 and this is a buildable foundation, so I applied lots of drops because I'm going for a full coverage today, and then I'm just going to lightly bounce and blend that into my skin with a damp Real Technique sponge. Then to give our face dimension, I'm taking the Got You Covered Concealer. This is in the shade 2.5, so it's quite fair for my skin tone. That's going to really brighten and conceal my under eyes to make them look nice and awake and flawless. To warm up our face, we don't want to look too washed out. I'm taking the NYX Wonder Stick in the shade WS04 and applying that in all the areas where you would usually contour and bronze, just to give us a really warm and glowy look. So I'm just going to pat that in and really blend it up into the back of my hairline of my wig just to make everything look nice and seamless. To set that all in place, I'm taking the HD Studio Finish powder. This is not ideal for baking because it will have flashback, so lightly apply it onto the skin and then use your regular foundation powder to dust over the top to ensure that doesn't happen. I'm then going to take these two contour colours here and go back in over the top of the powders now and just really deepen that up to make it look a little bit more dramatic. For my brows today, I'm taking the NYX Tame and Frame Pomade. I'm going to lightly brush through them with a spoolie and start to define the bottom of my brow all of the way up to the tail. I'm going to start to lessen the product and bring it towards the front of the brow to get a more soft gradient. And then to brush the hairs up with a brow tint is going to make them look nice and full and fluffy and also a little bit bushy as well. I lightly carved out the top with the foundation that we used earlier, and then I took the concealer that we used earlier and carved out the bottom of the brow and the brow bone. Apply that all over your lid, and that's also going to act as an eyeshadow base. I'm just going to lightly press it into the skin and then move straight on with shadows. Taking the Avon Pop palette, I'm using the pearly white colour on a packing brush and really just applying that from my brow bone to my crease. I'm then going to take a large fluffy brush and start to roughly place the purple through my crease all the way from my inner corner to outer corner. I'm taking the Beauty School Dropout colour and this beautiful plum on a small dense brush and starting to really pack that in my crease to deepen everything away. Go back and forth and start to blend it out with that other purple to get a really soft smoky effect. To highlight the front of my brow, I always like to use a matte bone colour. I never use a shimmer right at the very start because that'll kind of look a little bit weird. So once I've got that done, I'm taking the same concealer we used earlier and cutting out the lid just to make a nice soft base for our highlighters. I'm taking a mix of the purple and the pink sheen and I'm going to start packing that on in a really perfect cut crease shape. And then I'm going to take that smaller plum colour and start to deepen it up again and redefine it. You also need to run that colour along your lower lash line and then buff it out with the larger fluffy brush and the softer purple. Once you've got all of that done, we can now go back in with some black and really gently start to deepen up the outer V of that crease to really give it a more smoky, dramatic look. Then to finish it off, I'm taking a clean fluffy brush and just lightly buffing over the whole thing one more time and also winging it out into a cat eye shape. And then of course I'm applying a winged liner as well, just with a matte black liquid liner from NYX. Once I've got that done, I'm going in with the glitter primer and the one and only product in this video that is not from NYX. 2 types of glitter that I'm going to run through my crease and inner corner. I can't get my hands on the NYX glitter. They don't sell it in Australia, so I just used a generic one. I think I purchased this from eBay. So off camera, once I've got all of that done, I applied 2 pairs of the Wicked Lashes, a little bit of jumbo pencil in my waterline, and of course mascara. Moving back to the face, I'm taking a blush and really heavily packing this on my cheeks all the way up to my temples to give a nice coloured flushed look. For my first highlighter, I'm laying down the Duochrome Snow Rose, which has a beautiful pink reflect to it. I'm going to lightly pop on a little bit of my freckle that I always do in every video, and then to really intensify everything, I'm going to set my face with a matte setting spray, and then go back in with my Strobe of Genius palette and really pack on those two colours there with the pink and champagne undertone. And then with a smaller brush, I'm going to apply that just on the arch of my brow bone as well, and that is the completed beauty portion of this video. Now it's time to move on to the special effects side. So I'm going to take a non-toxic glue stick and run that through my eyebrow hairs to flatten them down to my face. I'm going to run through it with a spoolie and then press firmly down. Depending on how thick your eyebrows are, you might have to do a few layers. I did about 3 or 4 just to make sure they were really flat and smooth. Once the glue was dry, I applied a bit of powder over the top so they weren't tacky, and then I popped in a whiteout contact from Camowise just to make sure that I'm set and ready to go. Now for the pumpkin side of my face today, I'm taking the Conceal Color Correct palette, and this is in the shade Deep Profound. So using the orange color corrector on a concealer brush, I'm going to start packing that on all over my face where I've got it mapped out. This was a really nice, thick and pigmented product, so it worked really well as a face paint. Exclude your mouth area, and then now we're going to move on to the teeth. So I'm taking the NYX Derma Pencil in Milk and starting to outline the teeth just on top of my lips, but ignoring my lips and giving it a very straight line. Once I've got that all down, I'm going to define it with the gel liner on a fine liner brush. As you can see here, I'm pressing down quite firmly, making it thick in the center of my lips and then tapering it up towards my nose and down towards my chin. Once I've got all of the teeth lightly mapped out, I'm then going to start creating my jack-o'-lantern smile and the carved out eye area. I wanted this whole look to be very sketchy and very grungy, but to make sure that it doesn't look messy, you need to have everything flowing in the same direction. So all of my lines that were sketched out have to be vertical. So as you guys can see here, I'm just creating the nose shape, and then I'm going back around the eye to start to thicken it up and taper the lines outwards, and they're always going straight up and straight down. Using the shadow Hot Orange, I'm going to apply that on all of the areas that are going to be our carved pumpkin. So this is the inside skin tone of the flesh, I guess. I'm popping that with a fluffy brush on the center of my nose, all in my eye socket area, and also carefully in the smile and around to the teeth as well. You might need to change up brushes and use more of a small detailing brush just to get it underneath those teeth. Once you've got all of that laid out, you can then go back in with that gel liner and the fine liner brush and start to apply your areas and really define that crease in between your skin and your pumpkin face. I'm going to line that all along my jaw as well, just to give it a really clean finish. Don't forget to turn yourself into a glam pumpkin, so I'm applying a bit of that black gel liner on my lid and also underneath my eye for a really nice smoky look. I'm not going to apply too much though, because we still want lots of that hot orange shadow to come through. With that same brush, I'm going to start buffing that colour around the edges of our carved pumpkin and really buffing it in with the shadow to get a nice smoky effect. Continuing on with that fine liner, I'm going to start creating the up and down lines, tapering away from the carved look, darkening the edges to make it more of a triangle shape, and then flicking them up and flicking them down. I feel like this is going to be a very confusing voiceover, but you guys can clearly see what the effect is here. I repeated the same steps on the inside of the carved eye as well. Then I moved on to the teeth. I'm taking the same jumbo pencil in Milk and really extending and elongating those teeth just to give them more of a realistic effect. Going back in with the fine liner brush and the gel liner, I'm going to start connecting them up, and that's going to make them look nice and pointy and creepy. I did that all along the top and bottom row. Once I've done that, I will need to make the bottom row of teeth a little bit smaller so they look realistic. All I did was use the gel liner and just line the inner rim of my lip. And there we have our beautiful skull teeth. So I'm moving on to the jack-o'-lantern smile. I'm again using my brush with a very light hand, giving it a wobbly effect around the edges and starting to fill in the shading in a nice dark area, bringing it towards the center and buffing it out with a fluffy brush. Once you've got that in place, I'm going lightly in between each tooth and starting to buff out a bit of that black shadow, and then taking with a finer brush some of the hot orange shadow and applying the gum color above and below both of the teeth. I did want to add that using this gel liner was a really good choice. It dried perfectly and did not budge or smudge throughout the whole night. I had this look on for about 6+ hours, and I also ate dinner, and the teeth still looked immaculate. They still looked all in place. So I will be probably using the gel liner in many of my tutorials to come, just because I think longevity wise it has definitely been the best product that I have used to paint on teeth. Back to the tutorial, as you guys can see, I'm just taking the shadow Hot Black and starting to buff that around the edges and also contour my face with it. I'm applying that just in my hairline to really blend out my wig, and also then taking a mid-tone, which is that hot orange shadow, and using that to be our other contour color. So I'm applying that just around the border of my face and also running that down both sides of my nose to give myself a bit more of a vibrant orange. Now to finally make ourselves look like an actual pumpkin, I feel like this is the icing on the cake. I'm taking a very light hand with a lot of product on my brush and starting to gently wobble my brush up and down my face to get those perfect pumpkin lines. That's going to be a really big indicator that we are obviously a pumpkin. We have shape, we have lines going, and we're not just like a creepy orange face. So I'm going to apply that all along my face and really try to incorporate it well with where the teeth are placed, and also try to drag down bits to make it look more flowy. With the exact same method but a lot less product on my brush, I'm going to start tapering the lines upwards just out of the skin a little bit to make it look like it is seeping into the human side of our face, and then I'm going to also thicken and shade along the edges to make it obviously grungy. I think I've said that word 10 times. You could have a drinking game. Every time I've said grungy, smoky, buff, I don't know, they're like my 3 favorite words. I find it really funny because you guys always bring that to my attention in the comments below, and I don't realize it until I watch the video back later, so I'm going to try to come up with other descriptions one day here on my channel, but for now that's all we got. I'm going to go back in with a bit of that pearly white shadow that we used earlier and apply a little bit of highlight in certain areas to bring the face back to life and give it some dimension. Taking a pair of those wicked lashes that we used earlier, I'm going to pop them on my pumpkin side and blend them out heavily with plenty of mascara. Now to finish off the look today, I did want to apply a little bit of that yellow concealer over the top of my teeth. I felt like they were too white and stood out way too much to the eye, but once they were a little bit dull, they looked perfect with the rest of the face. So as I said, this is the completed look, and I was very happy with how this video turned out. I was proud of myself for being able to make an all drugstore, affordable and achievable makeup look. I'll try to get a few more of these out for you before Halloween ends. And if you're not comfortable wearing contact lenses, or if you don't have any, that's fine. I feel like this is very pretty without them as well. As you guys can see here, just my natural eye color is totally fine, and I would definitely rock it this way as well. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give it a very big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel or check out any of the other videos I have for some Halloween inspiration. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.